Hi, welcome to my channel Computer Basics. Today in programming basics we are going to discuss array. Now what is an array? How we are implementing it? So array is nothing but collection of same type of data. For example, let us take our room. Let us take our house. Our books we are arranging in a same place. Our pen we are arranging in a same place. Our dress we are arranging in the same place in a wall hanger. Okay, pen in pen stand, book in book shelf. All the peripherals of computer are arranged on a computer table. Okay, all the utensils are arranged in a place in kitchen. Are we mixing all these things? We will take a suitcase, we will mix all the things. One pair of dress, some utensils, some books, some pen. Yes, we are arranging. Okay, when we are traveling, we are arranging. These two are different things. Are you arranging in the same place, or are you arranging the elements of same type in different places? When I am arranging the elements of same type, books in bookshelf, pen in pen stand, clothes on hanger or in almirah, these type of arrangements are known as array. The same concept is implemented in our programming languages. C, C++, Java, they are having same type of implementation, whereas in Python it is something different. So first of all, in this video we will discuss how these are arranged in our C, C++, how these are arranged in Java. If time allows, then we will go for Python, or we will make it a separate video. So I will tell you, if you are in learning stage, then subscribe my channel. Definitely in each video you will get something new. Okay, so now let us come to the topic, array. As I told you, when we are arranging same type of element, it is known as an array. So when you are coming to a programming language, in programming language we are having data types. Okay, for example, C, int, char, float, double. Suppose I need 10 integer data in the same place, 10 character data, or 10 floating point variable, or 10 double value. So what to do in these places? If I want 10 integer data, should I declare 10 variables, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 up to x10? Okay, I will declare. If I need 100 variables, so should I declare x1, x2, x3 up to x100? If I need 1000 variables, should I declare x1, x2, x3 up to x1000? If individual variables you are taking, then it is very difficult to manage in the program. Even the programmer will forget which variable for which thing. Okay, so what we will do, we will take a set of elements, we will take a collection of elements. So in programming language, array means collection of elements of same data type. Remember it, collection of elements of same data type. Integer means only integer elements collection, character means only character elements collection. Okay, this type of collection is known as array. So how we will implement? To implement this array concept, I will take a program, addition of 10 elements, okay, or 5 elements, or 100 elements. Okay, now our program is addition of n elements. Okay, we can say n integers. Okay, if you are comfortable with one data type, it is same for all n integers. Okay, so n value I don't know. So let us go for our 5-step logic: input, output, algorithm, pseudocode, code. So first of all, what is the input? The value of n. The value of n. Now n elements. If you are entering 5, enter 5 elements. If you are entering 10, 10 elements. 100, 100 elements. Okay. After element entering, what is your second step? Output. In output, we will see whether all the elements are added or not. Sum of all n elements. Okay. Now third step, algorithm. In algorithm step 1, first what I have to do, I told you when we are putting in loop, suppose 100 elements, we can't write individually one by one element. So this array element I started after the looping because array numbers are large in case of making, so when we are making software. So we are taking loops to access each element. So how this is stored in memory, what is happening, I will tell diagram. So first of all in algorithm, declare n, that is the number of elements, I, a loop control variable. Okay, then sum, initialize to 0. Initialize we will do later. Sum y, to keep one by one element we will add and store in sum. After declaring, initialize sum is equal to 0. Okay, now input. Two inputs we need. What are the value of n? Input n value, okay. Now n value only we will enter, elements we will do later. Here in fourth step, now we know the n value 5 or 10 or what. So now we will put a loop for I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, generally when we are doing our oral mathematics or mathematics, we are taking from 1, but in computer everything is starting from 0. So we will take 0. Array also it starts from 0, so I have taken 0. 0, if it is starting, it will go up to n minus 1. Okay, I will tell the diagram here, it will be clear. Now one array, X array. Here when you are declaring, you take maximum size. So n should be within 100. Here I can't write n because n value is not specified. N value is specified in third step. So here I can't write n. Compiler will confuse what is the value of n. So take a maximum size 100. Okay. Now for I equal to 0 to n minus 1. Input x of I means x of 0, then x of 1, then x of 2, like that. And then sum is equal to sum plus x of 5. So x of 5 will be entered, and after entering it will be added to sum. That's it. Now all the elements will be going on like that. One element will be entered, added to sum, entered, added to sum, like that. Finally in fifth step we will write result. Display result. Okay, so let us do the program with C first. C pseudocode. Let us write one by one step. Declare int n I sum x 100. If you think that you need more variable, take it 500. Okay, so initialize. Directly we can write sum is equal to 0. Next, input and value. So scanf %d ampersand n. Before that, if you want to give a message, printf enter n. Okay, so n value is entered. Now 4-step loop. So here I have taken for loop. You can take any loop. Today I will take for loop only. So for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So here it is 0 to n minus 1. So I have kept less than n. If it is 0 to n, then I will write I less than equal to n. Okay. Now for input again, scanf %d. What is the element here? X of I. Okay. Now why I have written x of I? When I am writing x of 100, memory will be reserved like this. One name will be there. Indexes will be started 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 99. 0 to 99, 100 elements. Okay. If I need 100 elements, then I will take 100. If I need more than that, you can take any maximum size. There is no limit. Okay. Now what happens? It is when you are declaring, memory is allocated. Now here initially I value is 0. 0 is less than n. And suppose n value I have given 10 or 5. So 0 is less than 5. Condition true. Scanf, it will enter a number. Suppose my entered number is 10. Now 10 will be stored in x of 0, that is here. Okay. Now sum is equal to sum plus x of I. Now what is the sum value? Initially it is 0. Okay. So now it is 10 is added plus 10. So now what is the sum value? 10. Okay. Now these two steps will be repeated till n equal to 4. So I incremented 1, x of 1, whatever element you are giving, 20. Suppose you are giving 20. So it is 20. Now sum is equal to plus 20. So it is 30. Now again it will I value 3. 0, 1, 2. When I value is 2, enter 30. So 30, x of I, x of 2, 30. It will be added. So new value is 60. Okay. Now I value is 3. 3 is less than 5. Yes. So enter. I will enter 40. 40. It will be added to sum. So 40. It is 100. When it is incremented, I value is now 4. Okay. So 4 is less than 5. I value will be entered. Suppose I entered 50. So 50. It will be added to sum 50. So latest value of sum is 150. Now if it is increased, I value will be 5. 5 less than 5, condition false. So it will not be executed. Now what happens? Your sum is calculated. So last step is display result. For displaying result, printf result is equal to %d, this variable sum. So what is the latest value of 150? In place of %d, 150 will be printed. This is the logic behind array. Okay. Now it is the C syntax. Okay. And it is the array representation. Okay. You will tell, okay sir, I have taken 100 but 5 elements are used, others are wasted. Yes, it is wasted. Okay. How it will be utilized, what in data structure we can read. Now one by one element we are adding, and final result will be the result 150. Okay, so now what happens, it is C program. Now in C++, see, the memory representation is same in all the languages, there is no difference. So now what happens, we will take in C++. Okay, in C++ I will tell you, as in my last video, there is no difference, only printf you make it cout, scanf make it cin, looping will be same, scanf cin, printf cout. That's it, your C++ program is over. Okay, now let us try it in Java. In Java it is quite different. Let us see what is the difference. We will go according to our algorithm. Okay, in declaration I have declared here x100. In Java we can't declare like this. Okay, we have to declare in another way. That format is int square bracket. It represents I am going to declare an array. Okay, then array name is equal to new operator again, int. Here you will write the size, that is the Java syntax, and it is also there in C++. Clear? Now what happens, it is the declaration in Java. So declared, it is already declared. Now initialize sum equal to 0, same. Now input n value, only printf format will be changed, SOP. That's it. Okay, now scanf will be changed. Now in Java what we are using for entering or inputting, scanner class. Okay, so we will write scanner SC is equal to new scanner system.in. By this what happened, object is ready for scanner class SC. Now using SC we will use the function of scanner class, that is next int. So n is equal to next int. So input is over, third step is over, input n value over. Now fourth step for loop, same, only scanf will be changed. Already scanner class declared. In place of scanf you write x of I is equal to sc dot next int. Finish. Calculation same. Again printf SOP. Okay. So pseudocode over for Java. For code only you put a class name, then PSVM, public static void main. So this is the way how we are using array, how we are declaring array in C, C++ and Java. Clear? As I told you, if your first 3 step is complete, don't worry about the language. Okay, C, C++, Java already all are almost same up to some extent, as I am telling in every video, up to some extent. Okay, when object oriented programming will come, it will differ. So till then we will go learning in the same fashion. So your algorithm is over, Java is over. Okay, now for Python I told some different thing is that directly array is not there, some list concept is there. For that we need a separate video. Okay, so for C, C++, Java array we should do, we should declare, we should implement the array concept like this. Okay, for this video, thank you.